Hi, welcome back. I have something important to tell you, which is wash your fabrics before you start using them. Learn from my mistake. So this is a skirt that I made, I don't know, like a year ago now, I think. Yeah, about a year ago. It's the first walking skirt I made. It is drafted from the dress skirt draft pattern in the, what is it called? Damn it. In the Keystone. Jeez. That slipped my mind. And I love this skirt. It is wonderful. It has this black corduroy, and right now there are so much cat hair on it. But you know, it's not really as swishy as I intended it to be when I started drafting, but I hadn't really drafted anything before, and I was stupid. I was a stupid person, okay? So, what happened is that I flatlined this with a black cotton canvas, and I hadn't washed either of the fabrics before I started working on it, and surprise surprise, one of them shrunk more than the other. I believe it's the canvas that has, yep, the canvas has shrunk a lot more than the corduroy, and I am not happy about it. And the skirt has been like, it's been over the back of this chair for, well, like half a year or something. Well, that's a bit long. Less than that. I'm guessing like 3 or 4 months. This skirt has been just hanging here waiting for me to do the boring job of fixing it, because I want to fix it. And I was also thinking that this could be, well, it could be a skirt that I wear when I want to wear a skirt, which is every day. But I also thought that it could be the skirt to go with my Edwardian Picard, which is why the Edwardian Picard is up. But if I'm going to do that, there are a few things that I want to do. I want to change out this with, I'm going to hate myself for doing it. This is the same fabric as the jacket. This has been washed, and well, the corduroy has too now. So I'm going to make bias tape out of this to edge the thing, and also I kind of want to make it more swishy. So I'm going to try to make it more swishy. So I dug up the rest of the corduroy, and it's a lot of it, so getting another panel or two out of this will be not hard. So that's what we're doing, and well, first of all, I have to undo all this hard work. So I guess I'm going to go find the thing that I love to hate, and that also is a needed piece of equipment, my seam ripper. And then I'm going to see if I can engineer a panel or two to put into the back of the skirt to make it fuller. And I've been thinking about, because I like to have the closings and openings in the side of the skirt, which means that I can only have one pocket. But I've seen so many people having the closings in the back, and I was thinking about that, and like, maybe that's a good idea. I mean, I gotta open this entire thing up anyway, so why not, like, see if I can make it better as well, you know? So, that's a lot of work that's now undone. Which, I don't know, I have very, very ambivalent feelings about this. Like, one part of me just wants to throw this away. Like, basically in the trash, get it out of the way. While the stubborn piece of me, which is kind of louder at times, she wants to finish this. And I was thinking that, first of all, I need to throw the rest of the fabric in the washer because, well, this has been washed now. Part of this is to help me remember forever that fabric should be washed before you use it. So, the thing is that, like, that means that you have to wait until you can use the fabric. So, it's just another hurdle before actually being able to start sewing. So that's the thing. Yeah, I was going to see how exactly, now that I've separated the flat lining from the actual fabric, I decided to lay it out and see how much the canvas has shrunk, like next to how much the corduroy has shrunk, because that is, I think that'll going to be interesting and put some things into perspective for me, really. We can see how much space it's left on this side, and I can already see that there are space on this side and also on this side. So this is going to be quite interesting, I think. Wow. I'm just, wow. So, as you can see here, it's perfectly lined up, as perfect as I could, on this side, and on this edge, and on this edge. And let's go down. It hasn't really shrunk that much in the length, which I'm surprised about. But it has shrunk a lot in the sides, which, so this was bubbling up like so, which is not flattering for anything. So that was interesting. I mean, I knew that it had shrunk a lot, but just not exactly how much a lot was. Right, the easiest way for me to fix this would be to just sew it all up and just call it a day, because that would be the road of least resistance. Is that something? Is that something we say? I think that's something we say. But I kind of wanted to be more poofy. And the way to do that would be to, well, add some fabric. to make things more swishy, you add more fabric. That's a no-brainer, right? So I'm going to look at the Keystone drafting book again, see how this was drafted. I kind of remember how it was drafted, just... This is a pretty straightforward way to draft something. It's just let's say that it's easy, and I think that when I drafted this skirt, as it was this piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece, and I wanted to be a bit more. So welcome back to the living room downstairs. I need to like lay the pieces that I have extracted from the old skirt out on the floor, I think, and then just compare it to the drafting manual thing. And that shouldn't be too hard, except I need to push some furniture away to, you know, have room. What are you doing? Well, go outside. Look at her. She's like standing there sniffing the cat door. Just, are you going out? Oh yeah, you're going out. No. Is there too much snow? Echo? Is there too much snow? Let's push some furniture. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay out the pieces in the way that I drafted them, only this time it's fabric and not, you know, paper. And then I'm going to see if... Bye. She left now. And then I'm going to figure out how I'm going to draw in the new piece / cut a new piece for the back, because I don't know if I have enough fabric for that, but if I can, it should probably be a better idea to cut an entirely new back piece. I don't really think I have enough fabric for it, but we'll see. So let's lay out the pieces. So I realized that a skirt like this has like a front panel, a side panel, and a back panel, and in this manual, a drafting manual, the front panel is made into two, and I decided that that should be 2 panels with a dart, because I believe that that is more flattering on me, and the dart is still, I can still see where the dart has been on this. So so this is how half of the skirt looks. Of course I see now that it needs a bit of a press, but so what I want to do is actually this panel should have been bigger this way, like that. This line is part of a circle.
the drafting is actually quite ingenious. It's you start way over there, and you make a partial circle like this, and then you make a partial circle from that line that you just made, the length of your skirt, and then you use the same pivot point and you make another part of a circle like that, and then you mark up the pieces on that. But like the back piece is more complicated than that. Let's look at that.
Here's the Keystone manual for making the thing, and this is my first panel. Panel number 1 and 2 is the first front panel. Are you back? The cat is back. Hello, kitty. Okay, and so let's see, she's probably going to lie down on this. Yeah, so that's the front panel, which is panel number 1 and 2 in this drafting. And then we have panel number 3, which is my side panel right there. And then we have panel number 4, which is the back panel. Hi. Yeah, okay. Guess we gotta stop for cuddles. But what I want to do is widen especially the hem of the back panel. Of course, this is half the back panel. There is another one that's mirrored. And as you can see, actually this is kind of fun to see. As I can see here, that I have made this panel. And I want to make, hi, kitty's back, and I want to make the panel more like this. And I'm not sure how to do that. Yeah, let's see what we can do. First, I laid down some brown paper to draw all the pattern pieces onto, and then I've laid those down the same way as I did earlier. And now I'm sitting here looking at this, comparing it to this, and in reading the directions on how to draft it, I think I know what I've done. That is, I wouldn't say I've done it wrong, but I have done it, I don't know, I have done something that's not what I desired to do. So while watching this and watching this, here's what I've done. I've done this line from 5 to G is a right angle from this line. So I did that, and then this line, which is a right angle from this line, I drew right down here. And then I went just a little bit up. What I should have done is go all the way up here. And that would have given me a skirt that is wider in the bottom and tight up top. And I mean, that is something that we want. And if we want it to be even wider at the bottom, we need to put in some pleating room up here. And I mean, I could make a pattern piece that is this. I could make that. And that would be, I don't know, fine. I think I've decided to keep the panel that I've already got and then make something that will make it fuller in the back. Just make a new panel on the back like that. Let's draft that. I'm not sure how, but let's do it. I don't know, I'm not a real seamstress. Let's just do this the way that I think I should, or something. was both easier and harder than I had anticipated. Actually, the decision making is the hardest for me. Deciding what to make and how to go ahead and make that, it's harder than the actual doing of the thing. And now I have to start sewing again. Before I do that, it's going to get a nice press. All the pieces are going to get a nice press. When you fold stuff and sew it down, the fabric over time gets creases, right? Yeah, sure. I need to iron those out, and that means that I also have to make new lines. So that, because I made the seam allowance is the seam allowance is just made by eye while cutting, so it's a whole thing. The last thing I pressed was the hem facing, or the old hem facing, and I've always thought of this skirt as kind of narrow, really, and not that wide. But then I looked at this hem facing, and this is folded in half, and this is actually kind of big, and I have added to it, so it's going to be a swishy skirt. And I'm really looking forward to having this skirt back, because, well, it will add to my wardrobe, my everyday wardrobe even. Yeah, I just felt like I had to show this off, because when it's on the floor as pieces, it doesn't really look that big. But then here I was ironing the hem facing, and it was just big. So everything has gotten a press, and except for this, I need to press this too, I think. This is the pocket that I made to this for this skirt, and you know, one of those awesomely big pockets that, well, are big. And I decided that this skirt is going to be closed in the back, because that means that I can have two pockets. Well, it can keep my phone and probably a snack. I mean, these are huge pockets, especially when we're used to having tiny pockets. And this is the placket, or the old placket. It still has the hooks on it, which is nice. This is not lined, no, not flat lined, so I could just use this as is. But I was thinking about using hooks and eyes tape for this instead of individual hooks and eyes, because I hate hooks and eyes. I can never get them to be in the right place. And that is annoying. But we'll see, because I only have white hooks and eyes tape, and this is a black thing. So depends on whether or not I can hide the white of the tape. So we'll see about that. I think this is going to need a press, and this is going to need a press. And then I can tidy up here some and start sewing. Yay! I realized that the pockets go between the middle front panel and the next panels, so I have to make another pocket. And for that I'm going to be using some of the cotton canvas that are pre-shrunk now, and that, well, I mean the other pocket is made from it, so yeah, I'm going to do that and make another one of these straps to put into the waistband. I cut myself on my fabric scissors, but luckily I have band-aids with kittens on them, so I guess it can't be all bad. And I have made another pocket and another one of these straps thingies that goes into the pocket like so, so that, well, it's kind of hard. This is kind of going to be box pleated, because, well, the seam will go here, right? And then this will be pleated down to fit that. It's kind of hard to like show. But this, so now I have two pockets, one slightly bigger than the other, I guess. No, they are almost exactly the same. Almost. Fancy that. Okay, fine, I need a pen. Or three. Because what I can see on the original pocket of this skirt is that these are one of the only are a few of the only seams that are left raw, and I don't know why I did that. It's been over a year and I have made better skirts since, so there's that. So this has to go in on the very middle. This thing goes up into the waistband to like make it so that the weight of whatever is in this pocket lies on the waistband instead of the skirt piece where the pocket is. So that's like, should have changed the light bulb in on my machine. Probably have been a good idea. Am I going to do it? Probably not. Okay, so I'll probably have to do some hand sewing on the outside along the pocket opening, but it's okay. So these pockets they're big, but I guess there's something weird going on with the size of the pocket opening. It's okay, but the skirt I'm wearing right now has a bigger opening, that is for sure. But So here's the thing. Remember the strap that we made earlier, that I made earlier? That is going to go up into the waistband like this. And then that is sewn down with the waistband. And then when I put something in the pocket, the weight will fall on this corner. Or, well, if it falls on this corner, this piece will be stretched. But if it falls on this corner, which is what it probably will, the strap will take most of that stretch, and the skirt won't really, you won't really see that in the skirt piece. So that's nice. Looking forward to getting this skirt back. I really do love this skirt. It is long. So that's how far I've come at the moment. Panels, front, next panels, pockets. And I've come to the last of the panels that are old, already used in the skirt. Yeah. And then the next panels will be the new panels that go in the back. This panel had the tiniest pleat. Like, this is not a back pleat. And it will probably get a much bigger pleat because this time around, so I'll probably be pleating more than just one inverted box pleat, which is what I usually do. I like having the ends meet in the small of my back and then go out like this, and then there's fabric underneath that. That's what the inverted box plate is. So yeah. So this is almost, I must say almost a functional skirt now. Well, if I were a lot wider than I am, this would be a functional skirt. I mean, it needs to be gathered, obviously. Put in the placket that was in the old skirt. It already has hooks on it. I hate hooks and eyes. I believe them to be the devil's work. But, well, I have done these once. I'm not going to do them again just because they're weird looking. This is the old waistband. There are cat hairs on everything. Okay, this is the old waistband. I have checked. It still fits. It's actually fits perfectly, honestly. It has a good amount of overlap for the hooks and eyes that are also already in here. That is a good thing. Go do your homework. Nice. Where was I? Huh?
I'm gonna grab myself some food.
Good.
Stop.
Go do your homework.
Yep. Bye.
Bye. Where was I? I lose my place every time he does that. So my problem is that I don't really know where all the eyes went. The eyes of the hook and eyes of the skirt. Either they are like on the floor and thus impossible to find, or they're in the trash and thus impossible to find because I took the trash out earlier. So I'm going to go have to find some eyes, but that's not my priority. But that's not my priority right now. It's the waistband, that's the thing. So I ended up making a new waistband because some weirdness happened. And just turned out it would be easier and, well, honestly, look better to just make a new waistband. So I did. And now I have fastened it to the skirt. And we're closing in on the point of the process where most of the rest of the things needs to be done by hand. Like finishing the seams on the inside and stuff. And also, well, what's left now is the hem facing and the red bias tape that I'm going to put on around the hem. That word. Just so that, you know, to make it cohesive with this. Okay, so the hem facing is on, or sewn on. I need to fold this edge down and tack it down all the way around by hand, which is nice. And you know, if I was sponsored by like a streaming service, I would probably go into sponsor mode right now and tell you about the thing that I'm watching and the platform I'm watching it on while doing this hand sewing, but I'm not sponsored, so I won't tell ya. But seeing as I'm watching something, it's hard to film at the same time. I just don't like the way it looks when there is something on in the background. And also the sound gets kinda, it's somewhat of a copyright mess as well. So that's not what I'm doing. So I guess now is the time to make the bias tape binding sort of tape thing that I'm going to have on the bottom of the skirt in the red fabric of the cutaway jacket of the Picard ensemble, or whatever you call it. The piece that goes on the bottom of the skirt is, it's supposed to be like this wool braid thing that you fold around the edge of your hem, and that will be the piece of the skirt that gets worn, and like that's, you know, scrapes along the pavement and everything. And I mean, that doesn't really happen with my skirts. So that's why I'm doing it not with a like accurate kind of fabric or a braid. I'm just using this cotton velvet type thing to just get that red collar on the bottom there, because I just thought that would make it cohesive. It's math time. So my hem is about 375 centimeters long, which is a lot. I'm just going to round up because I might have measured wrong. So I'm just going to round up to 4 because that's a nice even number. So we need 400 centimeters of bias tape. And I want that to be how wide? To help me with that, I have a handy dandy thing. I want to be able to use this to fold the bias tape, because that will be easier for me. This will be a 2.5 centimeter wide bias tape, which means that I need 5 centimeters wide. I need to cut this 5 centimeters wide, which means that we need 5 centimeters, yeah. See, my math was wrong, because I'm stupid. Should never do math in my head. We need a bias tape that is 400 centimeters wide by 5 centimeters 400 centimeters long by 5 centimeters wide, which is 2,000, not 20,000 square centimeters. And so we'll just go ahead and get the square root of 2,000, which is 44. So now we're going to take this fabric and we're going to make a square that is 44 centimeters wide. And then we'll go ahead from that. I should not have done that. We're back to the red floofs. What I thought was I would finish this off camera and then I'd go be some memes. Let's be a meme. We should get a shot of the red edge of the skirt. Engage. So that's the end of the Edwardian Picard series, and I'm in love with this, and I guess I have to find I have to find an event now. When events are coming back to the world of the world. Thank you for spending time with me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. And this has been my approach.